Welcome back to the Sort of Truth podcast, the alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a rain cloud full of craft brew on the side. Holy shit, I know I've had that dream before.
Yeah, it's something like Homer Simpson's dream of Chocolate Land, but Beer Land.
I'm not sure what that is, but I'm going to look it up once we're finished recording because that sounds wonderful. I was just thinking about renting a beer truck and just getting right with the fact that I'm about to lose a bunch of money and then just open up the top, you know, the little thing on the top. Basically pull a Steve Austin and just like, I don't know, Dancing in the Rain doesn't hold much weight for me as a song, but I feel like I could get down to it in that sort of a situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade, and on this episode we are destroying Chapter 26 of Blood of the Fold.
Just not the beer truck, because...
unless you mean drinking it all.
We could. Oh, I don't know if we'd be able to catch up with a cloud, though. That's like the ultimate beer bong. I don't think it would work.
No, maybe not.
Funnel of some kind. I'll figure it out later.
Before we get into it, I just wanted to say thank you again to all of you guys who are here with us. We enjoy reading all of your comments all the time, and it just is super awesome to know that we have all of you here with us. And
yeah.
I just want to say thank you. I never can say it enough.
That's true. I mean, okay, so we felt a little bit bad because we kind of got a little backlog of messages and emails and stuff. And we went through, it was like, we got quite a few people to respond to. And we were feeling bad. And then we were like, wow, we have quite a few people to respond to.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
It feels good.
And that's because of you guys, so thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it. So we are going to be making sure that we get back to you guys as soon as we possibly can every time that you message us, because we know that could be super fucking annoying. So apologies, and thank you for still being here.
Sorry, thank you, love you. Yeah.
On to the show!
You know what just occurred to me? It's raining. That was thunder we just heard.
Oh, so it's appropriate then.
Perfectly appropriate.
Yes. So considering you saying that, we are back on the deck of the Lady Sefa in this chapter in the rain as the crew is guiding the ship into the pier. So Captain Blake wanted to anchor the ship way off in the harbor and bring the sisters in on a long boat.
Aye.
But Elisha didn't want to get wet. She was like, not about that. So she overruled him and made everybody else get wet, either working on the deck or, like, they had to be in boats pulling the ship in.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like, all the rest of the crew, like, as opposed to one boat going out with the sisters, there's, like, 6 boats now out with all the men getting wet.
It's a whole fucking thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned that on this podcast before.
And in the dark.
Oh, yeah. Dark makes it even harder. You can't see anything. It's all by feel. But, like, to get a ship into a shoreline is really, really difficult. Not only do you not want to damage the hull, and I think they do mention that they're throwing ropes and, like, stuff over to soften the impact a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the captain normally will stay out, like I think they said, a half a mile, and then they just take boats in because it's such a pain in the dick.
Yeah, I mean, even
it's
in our
really
video
hard.
game, you usually crash a couple times when you're coming in unless you're really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, think about a little paddle boat and just using an oar to get the paddle boat to go anywhere, right? Easy enough. But now imagine that you're pulling a full-size, it's not a pirate ship, I know that, this is a merchant ship, but it's at least a skiff. I think, no, schooner? I think that's the one I'm going for. Anyways, whatever you think of when you think of a pirate ship, imagine pulling that behind your paddle boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. And when they land and she's like, it wasn't that hard, was it? Yes, it was.
Yes, fuck you.
It actually was.
No wonder these guys are mad at these chicks, because even if you weren't, by this time, when they did this, you'd be like, fuck you guys.
You would be, right.
All you had to do is take a boat. 6 of you getting wet, as opposed to 30 of us. But whatever.
But I'm dry, so it's all good.
Yeah. So Blake is a little bit confused about why they're getting off down coast at the army outpost at Griffin Harbor instead of going straight to Tanamura, like was the original plan. But he's not going to complain about it because they're getting off the ship sooner. Like, they're docking sooner up coast. It says down coast, but, like, up coast where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
Right. From where they started.
Yes. But Elisha would rather have done the same, but she's just following orders. Like, she wanted to go back to Tanamiro too, but she's being forced to stop here.
Right. She would have liked to do it that way, I think, because then they could kind of, I don't know, throw this Emperor guy off his game a little bit. Like, they can go there, recoup, think of a plan, what are we going to do, instead of we're just going.
Yeah.
And they might have a little bit more of an advantage when they do meet him for the first time.
Yeah, well, and maybe she just wants to go anywhere but here.
Yeah, probably.
Not a great night that they're looking forward to right now.
He's not a good dude.
No. So, Blake points out this coach that's clearly meant for the sisters up at the pier. Like, they're putting the gangplank out, everybody's getting set to go out, and Elisha tells herself that this is all going to be over soon. Jagang's going to pay, and her master's going to have him. Like, she's got plans. They aren't going in here completely blind, obviously.
Right. And whatever his request is obviously not important to them.
Yeah, they're being forced to come here, but they're not apparently completely bound to him yet. Because like they're planning something right now.
Oh, they're not loyal. They're being bidden, but they're not loyal.
Yes,
they just don't have a choice.
Yes, we knew that, but yeah.
Right. No, fuck this guy. He's bad all the way. He's bad. He's so bad that even though the bad guys think he's bad, he's not on the good guy's side either. He's that bad. Even the bad guys are like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody wants him to die. Sorry. I'll shut up. Continue.
But basically, they're not going in there empty-handed, essentially. They have some type of secret plan. So Blake bids farewell to them and tells the men to be ready to leave. He is ready to be done with this shit. None of the men show their relief because they don't want to piss the sisters off because they don't know how they're going to react. They've punished a few more men for indiscretions on the way here, and now every set of eyes is on the floor. Like, these guys are not even looking at these chicks anymore.
Right. We talked about that in the episode where they got on the boat. Like, you would look literally anywhere. The floor, the mast, the sails, just avoid eye contact at all costs. And that's also got to make you feel like shit. I'm not trying to be sympathetic for the Sisters of the Dark, but like, every time you walk in a room, everybody's like, I'm going to look that way. Look at that wall. That's a nice wall.
I think it makes them feel like, maybe not powerful, but like, yeah, we're in charge. You better not fuck it. But you know what? Obviously, the men weren't completely listening after that lesson. Like, I would have assumed.
Yeah, because they did have to, like, punish them more.
Yeah, I wouldn't have assumed any of these dudes would have even tried anything like after that. But apparently, they did, and they were taught. So, as I said, none of the men are looking at them. This includes the 4 men who are holding the tarp over their head as they walk. Like that, I thought it was stationary, like on the ship, but it wasn't.
No.
This is like an umbrella type situation that they have going on.
Oh, I love it. It's great. Like, you have a way, because you're a sea captain, that you're going to get these people off your ship and then be on your way. It's super easy if you just anchor the boat and bring them.
Yeah.
In the longboat, right? No, you have to pull all the way in, and then all your guys who should be getting ready to go right now can't have that happen. So then they get 4 of these guys to hold up a tarp and walk with the tarp above their heads to keep these women dry.
Down the gangplank.
How much of a pain? You would think at the end of the voyage that, like he is, fuck, I am thankful that that is over.
Yeah.
And instead they're like, oh, well, you got to walk us up there. By the way, do you have a tarp? Why? Get off my boat now.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested how that came about. Because,
we're done. You're here.
Like, I don't know. Who suggested that? Did she? Did they go, let's help you? No, yeah, it's weird.
Or do you think maybe those sailors are so fucked up in the head because of what happened on that journey that they just assumed, get the fucking tarp. We don't want them to get pissed off about anything.
Keep these bitches happy and get them off the boat, okay?
Right.
Thank you. Now, Elisha also could have kept these guys dry, or the sisters anyways, especially since the women are currently linked. We don't really know what that means quite yet, but she didn't want to tip anybody off about that fact. Plus, she enjoyed watching the worms work, is what she said. Which is, like, she's just such an asshole.
Totally an asshole.
So, okay, back to the link. Nobody's ever attempted to link in this way, especially not sisters with both male and female Han, which means additive and subtractive. Which I guess...
I don't think it does.
I was going to say, I guess it doesn't necessarily mean that. They are Sisters of the Dark. That's why they have the subtractive.
Right. They've got male, female,
additive and
naturally,
subtractive.
and subtractive. They've got at least 3 things that they're not supposed to have.
That they acquired.
Well, no, because they would have the female Han, right, which is additive.
Okay, so
then the male side they shouldn't have, and the subtractive side they shouldn't have.
Right, correct. We got there. Okay.
Yes.
Now, joining in this way was dangerous, but it had worked fucking amazingly. Like, they weren't sure if it was going to, but it did. They pulled it off. High fives.
I'll bet they laughed like Masuka.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. It was creepy. But Elisha says that no magic this powerful exists outside the creator or the keeper. So they are like boss bitches right now.
Right. They're on God level. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, just the recklessness of her deciding, okay, this is a thing we're going to try. By the way, nobody's ever done it before. By the way, we're going to do it right now before anybody's ready. Now, obviously, it was worth it to all these women. Doesn't sound like anybody fought it.
Right.
You know, it just amazes me that she went as high a level as you could possibly go. And then she was like first wizard level. Mm-hmm. We're going past that. Way past that. We're going creator level here.
Yeah, it feels like a massive escalation. Like there may have been other options, but they chose to be like, we're going to do this super risky thing, and then we're going to be the top.
She literally brought a nuclear bomb to a knife fight.
But you can't really blame her because of what Jagang has been up to. It's been some, like, he's touching them in a way that nobody else has ever done, like, except the Keeper.
True.
Like, to her, I think Jagang's power seems to be almost God level. Like
on par with the Keeper, so she had to do this because anything less might be just useless.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't considered that. That's a really good way to look at it.
Well, because she says, like, he's the only other one who's come to them in the dream that's not a dream.
Which also implies, and I mean, we do talk about this here in a little bit, but, like, they are fucking terrified of him. Mm-hmm. They don't know what's happening.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. They're just trying... This is all self-defense, basically.
They're just getting ready for the worst.
Yeah. So, Elisha is the dominant node of the link. The one who's going to direct the force. Like, all of the power is flowing into her, and her hand is the one that's going to be doing the shit. And it's making her a little bit high with the power. It's, like, begging to be released on everything that she looks at. So, it's kind of... I don't know, kind of a problem, I feel like. But she holds it together pretty good.
It's like your Zool in Ghostbusters, and you have all the lightning and the clouds, and you're like, no, I'm cool. Just act natural walking into work on a Monday. Nothing's going on with me. Yeah. I'm not about to explode magic or anything.
We're totally cool. With just a thought, she could level everything in her sight. And if she knew for sure Jagang was in the fortress up on that fucking hill, she would just do it right now. She would just blast the whole thing out of oblivion. But she needs to set eyes on him first, because if he escapes, then as soon as they fall asleep, they're fucked.
Yeah, they have to be 100% sure that this thing goes right. They cannot risk a mistake. They cannot risk him getting away. Period.
It's a little bit weird because they all seem to look at the fortress as soon as they get there, like, he's in there, Jagang's in there. Like, is that because that's where he told them that he would be, and that's why they can't trust it? Or do they, like, sense it? You know, because that's what it seemed almost like they could feel that he was in there, but they obviously can't tell for sure until they see him, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe it had something to do with his visit in the dream that's not a dream.
Okay.
He probably just gave them instructions then. And they're like, okay, well, we have to go meet this guy. So they knew where he was before now.
Okay. And maybe he's just not there yet. He's going to meet us there later. We got to make sure he's there. Okay.
Otherwise, really good guess.
Yeah. So through the link, the sisters can all feel everything the others are feeling. Like, down to their heart rate. When one of them sits down, they can feel the pressure come off of, like, the relief. You know, it's real intense connection. And they can also communicate through this